So as you can tell by the title of this video, um, I am going to be discussing, for those of you that have experienced numbness on your lip after a wisdom tooth extraction. Excuse me if I'm not looking exactly at the camera. I'm sorry, I'm looking at myself instead of at the camera, because it's just kind of weird to look at a camera. But anyway, I digress. So I went in last Monday to have 2 wisdom teeth extracted. One of them was on the bottom right, and it wasn't completely, it was impacted, so it wasn't completely, hadn't really completely grew through. And then the other one was the top left, and that one completely had grown through. And I was referred by my dentist to a oral surgeon. And I've had teeth pulled in the past, so it wasn't an issue for me to have teeth pulled, being that the oral surgeon had basically told me that he would sedate me during the procedure. I was like, no, I've had 2 other wisdom teeth that had grown through before, had them pulled by a regular dentist. It was all good, and one of them were impacted, so it's like no biggie. And I don't really like being sedated. I like to kind of be conscious aware. I know that's kind of creepy for some, but that's just my opinion. So he was like, okay, well, I'll write you a prescription anyway, just for something to kind of ease the nerves during that, and I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to get it filled. So the day of the procedure, I opted to not take anything. I wanted to kind of be aware of what was going on during the procedure, and I'm glad that I did, because the first tooth that he began to extract was the bottom right. And very great doctor, by the way. This isn't a video to bash the oral surgeon or anything like that, but just to kind of give my experience with the whole process of getting numbness and no filling in my chin and my lip here. So as he's has made a cut through the gums and getting the tooth out, I literally, as he's pulling the tooth out, I can literally feel my lip on fire. Okay, it was burning out. He was like, before he got started, he kept telling me, are you in any pain? Are you in any pain? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And then as he's pulling that tooth, as it's like wiggling, he's like, wow, this tooth isn't really it really don't want to come out. And he's like pulling it. My lip felt like it was on fire. So I was like, and so I'm pointing at my lip because he's like, where is it hurting? Because he didn't know, he had basically given me some lidocaine, to make sure I was all numb. So he did a great job with that. But my lip felt like, I can't even describe the pain that it felt like. So he goes at it again. So he gives me some more numbing medicine to try to ease the pain. And then he goes for it again. He's like pulling the tooth out, trying to pull it out, and it's wiggling and it's wanting to come out, and then it doesn't. Fast forward, because this isn't the reason you clicked on this video. I'm pointing that my lip is like, it's my lip. So he stopped what he's doing. He's like, okay, so he's like, we're going to have to cut this tooth up into a million pieces to get it out, because it's causing you too much pain, and obviously it's hitting on the nerve. So he does that, and the technique that he used, he cut up the tooth more and got it out, and it was fine. So I leave. Of course, I'm numb for the first, because he numbed me up so well to assure that I wasn't in any pain. I was probably numb, like my whole mouth, considering all the other stuff I had done, was probably until the next morning. Everything else was fine. I remember waking up the next morning, and I was like, oh my God, because he told me I was going to be in a lot of pain. I'm like, oh, your girl ain't in any pain or anything. And I'm like, oh my God, my lip is swollen. I'm like laying in bed like, my lip is swollen. So I get up and I check the mirror, and my lip literally looks fine. Like, I'm like, I thought you was swollen. No, it wasn't swollen. And then I went to do this, and I'm like, ah, I can't feel anything. Wake up. I'm literally saying that, y'all. And I work in healthcare. So I'm like, it was like a person who had a stroke or something. Like, no sensation to any of this. Like, even when I floss in between these teeth, I can't even feel it. I'm like, what the? It's a good time to get a lip piercing if you're into that kind of stuff. But no, in all seriously, I'm like, why can't I feel my lip? So I started Googling, I started YouTubing, and it was like fear. Like, of course, the Lord, because I believe in Jesus, the Lord kind of spoke to my heart. He was like, don't get on Google, don't go to doing all that, because it's going to put some, fear's going to set in, and you're going to start believing what you see. Other people's experience, you're going to start believing other people's experiences is going to be your experience. But I just couldn't stop myself from Googling it. So I went to YouTube. I did the same. And people were like, I've been numb right there since 2018. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, my lip, I can't feel anything. Like, it's the weirdest feeling. And I have so much respect. I know this isn't to compare, like, to those who have lost feeling in other parts of their body or their limbs. But just this right here being that way. I've gained so much respect for those who may have experienced the loss of sensation in other parts of their body. But I digress again. So I had that done Monday of last week. Today is actually Sunday. As you can tell, I have on my Sunday's best. And it has gotten better. It started out, all this was numb. Of course, where the tooth was, all these teeth, I couldn't even like chew down on anything because I couldn't feel it. I felt like I had false teeth in my mouth or something. It was just the weirdest feeling ever. So I started YouTubing, and I'm not really tech savvy when it comes to like editing and stuff, but I don't want to take credit for something that's not mine. But I may later put it in the description box once I even figure out how to do that. First video. Okay, so, but a doctor had posted like a nerve chart, and it started out with what was worse, of course, completely paralyzed. You can't feel it, no motor skills, nothing. And it was referring to like extremities, but it's nerves. So, I mean, it's nerves. So I just applied it to what I'm experiencing. And the next thing on the chart was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, tingling. And then you had another one that was like cold and warm sensation. And then you had another one that was pain. Then you had another one that was fatigue, heaviness, feeling. And then you had normal. So basically in the chart, he was kind of broke it down that most people think when they start having pain that it isn't getting better. Because I was trying to Google, because the first couple of days I was having tingling, and I was wanting to ask people, hey, like, kind of how when you sleep on your arm at night, and then when it starts to, like, you can feel the blood going back and everything, you get that tingling sensation. I was like, is that anything to do with it? Like, tingling is a good sign, right? And then other people's like, no, I wish I experienced tingling. I've still been dealing with this for 14 years. I mean, I know I'm exaggerating, but I was like, oh my God, can I get hope? So I said all that to say, based on that chart, it was like tingling was like one step to the bad direction, and then pain, cold, if it's like a sensation of hot or cold, pain, heaviness feeling was progressively getting better. Tingling is like, okay, and then you get to, you know, tingling and itching and stuff like that, and hot and cold sensations and pain that's getting more towards better, or getting better, improving. So I do have faith. So that was Monday that I had the tooth pulled. Now my lip, I would say from here down, is still numb. But now if I didn't look at myself or anything like that, I would literally feel like my lip was a bubble lip, like huge, just from how it feels. Even though it looks normal, it has kind of affected the way I talk, because I'm talking like I have to talk over a lip that's big, that's really not big, if that makes sense. And eat and like think when I eat, you know, and because these teeth here feel cold, the gums feel cold, and I can't feel it. But if you're going through this, guys, or if you're considering getting your wisdom teeth pulled, just talk it over with your doctor. And you know, I would hear them say stuff like that in times past, and I was like, it ain't gonna happen to me, you know. Let's get this rolling, you know what I mean? So, but now that I'm experiencing this, and now on top of having these wisdom teeth pulled, now I'm gonna have to go to an endodontist and have another root canal done. So I'm really nervous about that, but I'm not living in fear. I do believe that it will get better. And if you're going through it too, just know that it will get better. Don't freak out, but it is. You have to be patient. Like I was thinking, as soon as I start feeling the tingling feeling, oh, it's on and popping. It's gonna be like my arm. Boom. It's been little by little every day. Like this was numb. Now I can feel there. This is numb. This was numb. It's still numb, but now I can at least feel like something's touching me. Okay, so some of the feeling is slowly coming back, and this part, it literally feels like somebody has put an ice pack inside of my lip. It's very, very cold. But from what I've read, me, of course, not having nothing but experience, but no book studies on this, okay? But from what I've read, the cold feeling and all of that doesn't mean you're not getting circulation to your lips. At first I was like, is my lip turning blue? It's so cold. It's not that it's not getting blood flow. It's just the nerve. So, you know, talk to your doctor, you know, follow up with your doctor if you have to. My doctor actually wrote me a prescription for some steroids, but because I already had 2 wisdom teeth pulled, I'm a big advocate of working out, and I wasn't able to work out because per my post operative instructions were to not do any type of strenuous activity, you know, to keep, you know, you from bleeding excessively. I wasn't able to work out. Only thing I was able to eat is soft food, so I opted to eat mashed potatoes. And then I haven't been physically active besides walking at work and then eating nothing but a bunch of carbs. I was like, there's no way I'm taking this steroid. I'm going to let time and the good Lord heal this, because your girl is not trying to be fat. No offense to people that are a little on the heavy side, because your girl has gotten thicker during quarantine, but I'm not trying to get no bigger, okay? So if you have any questions on what else I've experienced, just so I don't have to keep this video too long. I hate watching YouTube videos where they ramble, and I probably did ramble in the beginning only because I'm not used to talking to a camera yet, but I will get better, because there's other things that I have experienced and I'm sure a lot of other people want to hear about, and I've just been too afraid to look at myself in a camera and not judge myself and feel like other people are judging me. But I also would like to make videos. This is off of the whole wisdom tooth extraction thing, but how I cleared up my skin, the process of dealing with acne for well over 20 years to where I am now with only lashes on, no makeup, just my experience to healing my skin, my experience to just where I am in life right now and some decisions that I'm trying to make in regards to my future. I can talk all day, guys, but if any of you want to know about that, just drop a comment in the comment section. You know, I'm sure someone's going to hit the thumbs down button, because I have been that person when they ramble about a topic that was not what I clicked on. I get it. It's cool. But if you are dealing with the numbness in your lip, like myself right now, it's just a blessing that right now we have to wear masks. Even though I hate wearing a mask, you know, it is a blessing, because right now I feel like I'm constantly drooling, even though I'm not. So it has improved. Every day feels a little bit more tolerable, but I'm not gonna lie, the first 1 or 2 days was a struggle. I was so scared. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to feel my lip forever. And I can't even think, like, I had a day off and I couldn't even enjoy my day because just the sensation of my lip. And I know it sounds like a little deal, but for those of you who've dealt with it, you know what I mean. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping in and listening to me ramble. And if you have any questions or anything like that, I will do an update once, you know, in about a week, because that'll be a week. So next Sunday, I'll do another update to let you know how it's going again. But right now, if you initially, it was tingly. It was everything. It was tingly, it was pain, it was itchy, it felt heavy, it was cold, it was all of those things. Now I'm starting to kind of like feel a little sensation, just a little bit. My teeth here are not, I can like chew a little bit better without it feeling completely numb. And even with me talking now, I feel like I'm drooling everywhere. But now today, I feel like it is just cold and heavy. So those are my symptoms today. Excuse me if my cheeks look flushed. They are. I've been sitting in my car for the past 20 minutes at home before I got out, but I wanted to do this video and not put it off any longer because it's hard. I think it's one other lady on YouTube that's talking about it, and God bless her, because she just seems like precious. She's praying for everyone with this issue, and so am I. So leave a comment if you need prayer. Pray for me that I have healing, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed day.